guys, Ezilii here. Welcome back. This is going to be a quick episode. It's about 20 minutes long. I felt this stuff kind of went together, and then I broke up the other stuff. So in this time lapse, we're building an event center, aka convention center. I know. In the grand scheme of things, our population is 82. So why would we do this? Well, in the end, this will be a much larger city. Or at least it'll look like this belongs. So I am going through and trying to figure out. I'm using an event center. I forget the name, but it's part of the mod list down below, or the collection down below. And I'm rotating it by holding down the right mouse button and spinning it. I'm kind of smashing it together to make it be one larger convention center, and then I discover I have an oopsie. That's the official term. Oopsie. I'm gonna probably tweak it, but I'm pretty sure I just break stuff and then I decide that I'm gonna do something completely different and not show you. But if you look at that intersection, it's fixed. It needed a bendy. It needed a bendy road. Anyway, back to the convention center. So this is an event center, and it is near the hotels in Hill Vale. And you see this briefly in the beginning, in the little intro cinematic, which kind of predicts the future if you've been watching up until now. It shows you some stuff that hasn't existed in the build thus far. So I'm kind of trying to figure out the plot, but I felt that it had to go here. It just had to go here. There are 3 hotels. That's plenty of hotel space for conventions to happen in this area. Right now there's not a whole lot of other services besides hotels and Sherlock's Coffee and a bar. But wait. Ominous foreshadowing. Anyway, this will be episode 7. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, all of that jazz. It's been fun. I've recorded this is still way back in June. Maybe we're in July. I'm about to go on holiday, and then I'm going to be at PAX West. So if you're out there and you're going to be at PAX West too, come say hi. I don't know if I have a date with Twitch for a meet and greet or anything like that, but I'll be there. I really love these parking lot roads. These parking lot roads make my job a lot easier. Oh hey, I just realized I actually remembered to turn on North American roads. That road looks so much better when it's got the yellow stripe down the middle. Where's that been all of our lives? So I'm making these parking lots, and then I'm also making, like, painting the area where there might be food trucks. I don't know. Maybe there'll be food trucks there. But since I have absolutely 0 people living in this city, I made small little parks that amped up the tourist value to bring tourists from off the map to the city. I believe there's a mod now that lets you do spawning, but that wasn't around, and I'm not about to test it until after this city is done. This city is my baby. I'm doing a Midwest inspired city on Twitch. That one is also my baby, but this one is my baby. this is like the favorite child. If you're parents out there and you have a favorite child and you don't want your kids to know, kids, if you have siblings, you may be the favorite one. You might just be the favorite one. Anyway, this asset, this toolkit is invaluable. So I made sure that I allowed for some accessibility space. I'm not sure if I add any more, but then I also made sure I added the electric vehicle parking so we can charge the vehicles while people are at the convention. Now, ideally, I would imagine that this parking lot would get full on a pretty hoppin' convention day, but not necessarily full for convention goers, but full for vendors, if that makes any sense. If that makes any sense. I don't know if it does, but maybe it does. And all the way at the end, we're going to run electricity through the middle of our parking lot. I mean, there's lights in the middle of the parking lot, so electricity is there. And parking lot simulator commence. It's a race. You know what we should do? We should do an esport. How quick can you make a parking lot? That should be an esport. Oh, did I say curbs? Yep, that's right. God, I love the network curb. King Leno, thank you. Thank you so much. In fact, all of you guys, if you guys are watching, you asset and mod creators, thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. I try to tip when I can. It's been a while, but I try to tip when I can. If you have a coffee link, which by the way, I have a coffee link down below. If you guys put coffee links in your mod pages or your asset pages on Steam, drop the cost of coffee. I kind of like it better than Patreon. Coffee, I can just say, hey, I really like this. Here's a cup of coffee or more. And bam. Where you might not feel as pressured. You know, I'm a content creator and somebody subscribes on Twitch, right? It's like now I have a responsibility to provide entertainment. It's that type of stuff that goes through your head. But either way, I'm still going to provide entertainment and I'm still going to be here. Nonetheless, I digress. But if you guys make mods and you have assets out there on the workshop, if you have a coffee button, magic might happen. So I decided that we're going to have these food trucks, which I guess I foreshadowed earlier today. That we would have these food trucks to provide even more food for our convention goers. And now I have those barricades in and people can safely kind of hang out there in the middle of the parking lot. There's some umbrellas that might help with the shade for some people like me who can't be in the sun too much because I'll burn really fast. And then I was thinking, maybe we found these crevasses, these rocks, and we built a little tiny park out of it. Maybe it might... That rock was a little bit big. I don't remember if I kept it. Like, maybe that's enough. Like, trees. Let's place these trees everywhere. Boom, boomity, boom, boom. I wish I could play the game this fast. But I spend too much time thinking. What do I want to do? Where do I want to put stuff? I'm like, what am I looking for? Oak tree. There we go. The big giant oak trees. I think I go to make a park in a second and it cuts over. Oh, yeah. The office buildings. It's one thing to have the convention center, but it's another thing to have the office building that manages the convention center. Promotions, so there's probably some space for designers. If you know, maybe it's the visitor bureau, right? Tourism and visiting bureau. That pause there was the game saving. Did I go with that? Maybe I went with that. But anyway, so PR people to make sure that conventions happen to support a convention. Manage sales, I guess, tickets, or manage getting things cleared for vendors and whatnot. There. Nice little cross dissolve. I think that's when I went to make the little parks. And I tricked it. I went to place that down to see where the front was technically. Oh, we were lucky. The game didn't crash. At least, maybe. Or I did a really good job of covering that up. I don't think it's my video editing skills. Let's face it. I cram stuff together and I speed it up. Bam. So basically, this is just an office building that services the convention center. Maybe the tourism board is also housed in here, where they're coming up ways on how to make our city a little bit more attractive for these conventions. And let's reuse what we've already done because it already looks okay. I do recall having a problem when I let the game run that trucks were driving all through that. By trucks, I mean big commercial trucks. Like really big commercial trucks. Really, really big commercial trucks. They clogged it up. It was clogged. They made a delivery. One of the vendors forgot their table or something. And then the news has to be here. They're covering the convention. They're doing a human interest story, if you will. Today at the convention, cosplayers really killed it. Look at it. They did a good job. Are those floating? Is that truck floating? Maybe it is. And we allowed these oh, it was floating. Look at that. Good eye, me. Good eye. So these trucks are... they're maybe the AV people that have brought in some equipment for this particular convention or whatnot. And did somebody say foliage time? Heck yeah. Something I find that make sure that you get some foliage placed down. It really sells your city, but also not every place has to be a forest. There's a very fine balance. That might be overgrown. And this is just to provide... this here is to provide some, you know, aesthetic. Now when you put down prop line tool and you kind of hold down when you hold down control and it gives you that line, you could then bend it into place, which makes it so much easier to do that type of work. Boom. Ta-da! I don't know if it's done. I don't think it's done. I keep looking at things like, what else can I do? So we're going to finish up putting in some other details around the city for our 82 people. In a couple of episodes, like next episode is a bunch of highway rework. But in a couple episodes, I break out some park life things near here. And I think it turned out really well. But I'm biased. When I'm doing this, I'm thinking, what are these guys, what are they gonna, how are these guests gonna feel? Do they feel like this place is crammed and not really conducive to hanging out waiting for your convention? Can you feasibly meet somebody here? Like, hey, meet me at Sherlock's Coffee before we go to the convention. What do they feel? And then the bar. Oh, that was a long day. Can I have a drink? Right? These are the silly things that go through my head when I make this. Maybe they're silly, maybe they're not. Do you guys do that? I think they should rename this Tree and Foliage Simulator. Man, those trees really do start to sell the city, don't they? I encourage you to place them. I encourage you to place all of the trees. Place them, place them, place them. Don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Anyway, we're winding down near the end. I'm going to let the music take you on out. Until next time, my name is Ezilii. You can catch me here on YouTube and over on Twitch. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all of your love, support, your comments, liking, subscribing, sharing. I appreciate it. Love your faces.